Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? We're back again. Is my microphone on? Hold on. There we go. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. It is very late on this Thursday night for everyone. It is nice to be back. I had a lot of emails very early in the morning, Australian time, saying, Ping, you guessed the time correctly for the trial, for when we're going to get a verdict. Yeah, I think that was just a lucky guess, and just the circumstances I was able to figure it out. It's just from years of watching trials. Yeah, so we did get a decision, a verdict before 2 p.m., which was really interesting. Um, and we got good news in the trial. We got some justice for Evelyn, guilty on all counts except for count 18, which was removed. It was a legal challenge earlier on. It got taken out, but guilty on everything, including first-degree murder. So that is really good news. It's been a long time. I was talking to someone tonight, and I was saying I was 35 years old when Evelyn Boswell first went missing, and I'm 40 now. It's been a long time, a long road to get here, and it's nice to see it finally done. It really is. Now, a lot of people ask me, Ping, why did you even cover a child trial? Because I don't normally cover children cases or children court trials. I don't normally do them. And I just wanted to find out, like everyone else, a better understanding of what happened to Evelyn. Because for 3.5, 4 years, they didn't tell us anything except for she went missing sometime between late November and early December. Her mother, and I put that lightly, reported her missing in February, and that they found her in March. And that's it. That's all we knew. Like for years. They kept it all sealed. They sealed a lot of the records until they started getting prepared for trial. And then we started finding out a bit more. I don't think any of us could have imagined how heartbreaking those details were going to be. I've listened to every minute of the trial since it's been on, and I can tell you that it. I don't know how you move past that. I'm just a guy watching from Australia. If you were close to Evelyn, this would be soul crushing. The details that came out, the things we learned about her last moments, or like on Earth, it's really hard listening to it. It really is, and I'm glad it is over. And I'm very glad that that was a quick decision by the jury. Very quick. I think it was like 4 official hours, so that was good news. And the only downside is this, and I will show it to you. And then we're going to move on because I think it's all been covered by every other channel today. Where is it? Hey, my own tweet showed up in Google. I don't know why. Hold on, where is it? That's all right. I'll just read you my tweet. So they're saying here, according to a motion filed at 2:41 p.m., which is like 40 minutes after the decision came down, Boswell's attorney, Jean Scott, has asked the court to dismiss the charges against her or grant her a new trial. So if we're playing at home, this is like the fourth time he's tried to either have the case thrown out, have a mistrial declared, and now he wants a whole brand new trial for Megan. Personally, I don't think it's going to work. I don't believe they have enough to overturn this trial. I don't believe so. And like he's just ridiculous. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people don't like me bashing that lawyer, but he sucks. Like he's terrible. It felt like he was there literally for a paycheck. I don't know what that means. I know those people, and Grizzly Cat was here the last couple of nights. But I don't know her. I mean, she liked a couple of my tweets a few times, but we don't know each other or anything like that. I think we have maybe some, you know, reciprocated, uh, appreciation of each other, if that makes sense. But I don't think I'm a member of her chat or anything like that. I do watch her shows from time to time, like when she did the Madeline Soto documents. I watched her channel, but I think other than that, we're not that close. But it's not. Yeah, Grizzly Cat was here the other day, and she liked a few of my things. So maybe it's a start of a further talking between us. Yeah, I know who she is. Yeah, I don't know what it means to be a grizzly though. Does that mean you have to be a member? I don't think I am a member of her thing. Justice Jane, hey, I saw you in the trial chat room today. Justice served for baby Evelyn May Boswell. Yeah, hopefully now she can rest in peace. And this is the thing I was thinking today. So I'll turn the camera on in a minute. The one big thing to me is I was thinking, wow, so the trial's over. So Megan will be sentenced in May. And I was like, okay, that's good. She'll get a sentence. Probably if she is ever released, the earliest she could be released is when she is just shy of her 70th birthday. Just shy of her 70th birthday. But we have to wait and see at sentencing what the judge wants to do, whether it's concurrent or consecutive. We'll have to see from the other charges. But what the one thing that stood out to me is, and I was like, wow, so it's over. Evelyn's gone, Megan's in jail. Well, like, what do we do now? How do we keep Evelyn's name alive? And then I remembered, well, no, they actually made a law in Tennessee called Evelyn's Law. So there is a law there about reporting missing children that is named after her. So and that made me feel a lot better because I was like, oh, she'll always be remembered. Her name is attached to that law forever so that another child doesn't have to do that or go through what she went through or wait 2 months to be reported missing. Or if they are, the parents can be arrested and thrown in jail. So that was really cool. That made me feel a lot better because I was like, does it just go away now? Do we just stop talking about her? But no, she'll live on in Tennessee law, but also the minds and hearts of everyone who either saw the original missing of, like, when she went missing, or watched the trial and, heard the details of what her mother did to her. Ah, half a decade to get here, half a decade. Hey Uda, how are you? Hey Moonlight, how are you, my friend? Ping, your prediction on the verdict timing has me thinking you should probably do a lottery or something. It was an educated guess, and the educated guess, do you wanna know how I calculated it? I'll tell you. It's because this particular trial, the defense really didn't bring in any witnesses, and I thought because this jury has been sequestered, they can't talk about the case, I don't think, until they go into verdict, but what else have they been doing for 2 weeks, right? Not much. So they've been stuck in hotel rooms for a week or so. And I was like, they already understand what they're looking at. They don't have to really go from defense to prosecution as much. If the defense had called witnesses on that last day, they will already have a predetermined verdict, like what they think of the case. And I was pretty sure, based on the evidence we were shown, which was, in my opinion, overwhelming, and the arrogance of the defense team to just let it ride and not, their whole strategy was the prosecution doesn't have enough evidence to convict Megan Boswell of first degree murder. And they were just like, that was their whole strategy. So they just left it as the evidence that the state put against Megan. And they were like, oh, that'll be enough. The jury will never buy this. But if you ask me, the evidence was overwhelming. It really was. It was like a tsunami, and they had done a really good job of laying it out in a way that everyone could understand, and then figure out what happened to Evelyn very easily. So with that, knowing that there wasn't a ton of back and forward to go, I was like, this is going to come back really, really quickly. And I was like, probably by about 2 o'clock the next day, we're going to have a verdict. So that's that was my thought process of how I guess that it would be just after lunch. There you go. So now you know a little bit how my mind works. Jonna says, how do they go about making laws? So it has to be brought up from a politician, basically. They have to introduce it into your local government, and it has to get support. So you need whoever, I don't know, whoever's in power and who controls what. You need to get support for your bill, and yeah, so they can go around and ask the other parties, hey, this is a good initiative, would you mind supporting it when we go to vote? And it gets put through. I don't know if this one had to go to the public like a proposition, but I'm not sure. Like, I'm not American, so a little bit different the way they do it here. Patty L said they underestimated the prosecution. I don't know if they underestimated or they were just so cocky during the entire thing. Like, Gene Scott was, it's almost like he didn't want to be there. And because I don't know if you watched the bit at the end during when the judge was talking. He's like, "Oh yeah, judge, so like I got another murder trial. I can't do sentencing on the 18th. I can't do it. We've got 2 weeks blocked out for another murder trial." It's just like, to him it almost seemed like a number. Like, "Oh, who cares? I got another murder trial. I'm going to go there and I don't know. He just didn't seem very, yeah, very arrogant. Yeah, and I think that played against him. It really did. It played against him, and then by extension Megan too. All right, let me turn this on. Let's get going. That's all I really have to say about Megan. It's just some closing comments and my observations. Other than that, I'll see you all at sentencing in about 8 weeks. I'll see you then. All right. All right. All right. Let me load this up. That's not what we want. What is this? I don't know what that is, but we don't need that. Okay. Hey guys, how are you? Good to see you. The camera's here. Good to have you all. Let me say hello to everyone. Hey, Mr. Dan Yee was here. Lynn D. Liza. Hey, is that how you say your name? Liza? Lisa? Hey, how are you? Rachel is here. Retired RN. Deborah L. Lynn D. Wendy R. April B. April B's here. Marilyn Landis. My friend Marjorie's here. Woodland Creatures. Who else am I missing? Blaze Fairchild made it. Hey, my friend. RX Girl, I Hate Mornings. Nikki's here. Hey, Nikki. Woodland Creatures became a member. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Justice Jane. Hey, good to see you. Let me see. Andrew made it. Who else are we missing? Burnt Popcorn. Hey, Burnt Popcorn. Jonna's here. Hey, Jonna. Do we Patty L, Robbie T, hey sweetheart. Oh, I have an update for you. I'll message you after the show. Your order just got made like a day ago. I've been waiting all months for an update. They sent me an update, I think it was earlier today, saying they just made it. It took them a month. We're going to change companies. That company's terrible. I mean, the product is beautiful, but it just took forever. Anyway, I'll email you about it after the show. Who else is here? Yuda's here. Hey, Yuda. Moonlight View. Hey, my friend. Anyone else? Did we miss anyone? Kathy Lynch made it. I think we're good. I think we're good. Oh, Cakespoo's here. Marlene Clausen. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. All right. So there's some. Wait, I almost lost on my screen. So some interesting information came out. And I think it would be an interesting topic to get away from dead children for a minute. I don't know if any of you saw this, but they released a new audio clip. This is supposed to be that audio clip that the Navy heard, the Navy or the Coast Guard. I'm not sure, but It was that secret audio recording where they knew that there had been an implosion of the Titan submarine last year, and now they have finally released it, and it is spooky, really spooky. You sort of hear it and you go, well, what else could that be? It literally sounds like an explosion. So let me, or not an explosion, an implosion. Let me see if I can grab a better source for it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, have a listen to this. So you hear it there right in the middle. That's that kind of low rumbling noise. And they're saying that that was the submarine imploding under the water. And now you go, "Oh, yeah, now I get what you mean." You really could hear it on these microphones that they've got around the ocean. Yeah, it really is that clear. That nothing else would sound like that. Unless they're like, "Hey, did someone leave their explosives on the sea floor about 20,000 feet down? Come on, guys, own up to it. This happened last Friday." You know, I don't think that's what happened. I think they would have gone, whoa, that's a weird noise. There's probably someone who monitors these microphones every day, 24 hours a day, because they use it for environmental, threat reasons, national security. There would be someone monitoring it quite regularly. So, yeah, it's really weird noise. Here, I'll play it again for you. There you go. It is you think when you hear that noise, what it is, that sub is going chunk like that, like a tin can under pressure. It's just flat. And you had these people inside of it. I can't even begin to imagine what that might have been like to be one of those people on that submersible and then have it implode while I'm inside of it. They did say they don't know because no one has survived it, but they believe that it is so instantaneous that your mind can't figure it out. But if you listen to the Coast Guard hearings that were late last year, they said they believe the people on board would have known there was a problem and they would have heard creaking beforehand. So I don't think they were just going to the Titanic and then they just went imploded and they just died and didn't know what happened. If they heard all that creaking and pressurization of the submarine and knew something was wrong, then the fear would have already started in their body, right? It's a natural reaction. It's very sad that their last moments on Earth may have been like, I am literally stuck in a bolted together submarine that I cannot get out of. I can't do anything. And it just woof imploded and that's it. It's all over. So yeah, impending doom. That would have been the feeling they had. It is. And then you hear that noise and you know that was them. They didn't use a Game Boy. They used a Logitech controller. It is a very well-known controller in gaming circles, and it's been around for a really long time. I can show you one. It's called a Logitech F10, F110, I think. Hold on. Yes, it is. I know, F710. So this is the controller here. There. There you go. That's the controller right there. It's really well known. It's been around for years and years. And this might be the wireless one. I think they were using the wired version that had a cord, but there's been a couple of different versions over the years, and Logitech still make them. So Jonas says yes, the cracking or banging sounds prior. Yeah. And if you were Rush, the owner of the sub, he would know what cracking is normal and what is not normal because he had done about 20 dives on that submarine. So he would know if these noises were not normal. He would definitely be the first person to know. Jonah said he cheated out on the materials he used and it couldn't stand the pressure. While no, I don't know if it's that he cheated out as such or he was trying to be different. And by doing that, he didn't follow well tested and regarded methods for submersible vehicles. And that is like, use one piece of metal, it has to be X amount thick. You can't use these type of, sealing and stuff. Like there's well researched and scientific ways of doing this properly. And other companies have done it. You don't use carbon fiber. Anyone who's ever gone into any type of you know like car racing or whatever, they know what carbon fiber is. It's very strong, but if you put any pressure along it, like tensile, it just cracks. It's really funny like that. Very strong, very light, but if you crash it into something, it just crumbles. It just turns to nothing. Um, so yeah, that microphone was 900 miles away. That makes me worry. Like, what can they hear from our bathrooms? What can they hear? Can they hear if you've eaten far too much, Taco Bell? I mean, it may sound like that on the microphone. They may have a national archive of it. They're like, yes, 484 Green Street. We've been hearing implosions from their bathroom every 7 days. We're quite concerned. We're going to be sending out a search team and looking for the source of this noise. Ah, Marilyn says the amount of pressure on the submersible. Yeah, it's just so hard for us to understand, being that we're up here on Earth, like not up here on Earth, but on the surface and not deep in the ocean. But it's so hard to describe. But it'll kill you. It'll kill you like they did, like it did these people. Something goes wrong and it's all over Red Rover. It is done. Uda says, how many successful dives did the Titan make? I think it was like 8. If I remember correctly, they done 20 dives in the submarine, but I think it was something like 8 dives to Titanic. Like they had taken it other places and not quite as deep as the Titanic. Let me double check. Okay. So it says here in October 2022, Stockton Rush stated in a media talk he gave that Titan had made 13 successful dives to the Titanic wreckage. They do about 6 or 7 per year. That's where I got that number from. I thought that was total, but no, they do that around that number per year. So, yeah, he'd done, yeah, a few. But they said that was actually one of the problems. If you listen to the Coast Guard hearings from October and November, they believe that's probably what caused the implosion is the repeated stress of going up under the water and up again, up, under, repetitive. It caused micro cracks and micro pressure on there. And it's sort of like if you have like a paper clip and you bend it back and forward like over and over again, eventually it just snaps off. Very similar to what they think happened to Titan from going under and then under pressure and then to the surface and away from the pressure. It weakened the structure of the submarine and you can't see it because it's like microscopic. And then when they put it under pressure again, and they got so far down, the pressure became too much and it just went chung and just imploded like a tin can. So that's what they were saying in the hearings a few months ago. Yes, yeah, Cameron's made a few trips. He even, but the one he went in is different. It is a multi-million-dollar machine, and he was actually in the operation for it. If you watch the documentary he did on it, very fascinating. That thing cost many multiple millions of dollars, and even they had problems when he went down to the deepest point in the ocean, anywhere on Earth. They lost their lights. They lost their like they had a claw that could grab things. They lost that. They lost electronics. Like, yeah, and that was one that was engineered to like the ninth degree. So, and they had problems. So, imagine something that's built on like a tinier budget. It's it's probably not going to do so good. You can't fight physics. No, there are some certainties in life, and one of them is the laws of physics. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, Boston Beauty, how are you? Boston Beauty said, "Thank you for whoever gifted me a membership last night. I believe that might have been Lisa. Lisa gifted it to you." Moonlight View said, God knows they could have purchased a well suited sub diving machine proven to be safer. He wanted to be different. He wanted to be like the Steve Jobs of submarines, like disrupt the market and make something no one has ever done before. Except he didn't do that. He designed a death trap and then killed a bunch of paying customers. So, we don't glorify those people. We just, if they're alive, we'd send them to jail. So, yeah. So that I wanted to show you that. I thought that was really interesting. And yeah, that's that one that they kept talking about, like, "Hey, we heard it. We knew, like, days before we found the wreckage that there had been an implosion." So, that was that audio that led them to that. Yeah, peace to you too. Okay, alright, alright. So, we have more stories. So, did someone up here someone said it's Valentine's Day in Australia. That is true. Happy Valentine's Day to all the lovers out there. It is. I was actually supposed to be away today. I was actually going to Cape Shank. I was supposed to be going down to Cape Shank and staying at a beautiful hotel for Valentine's Day. But with Mrs. Ping getting so ill over the last couple of weeks, I actually cancelled the booking and we are not going. So we've postponed it until she's feeling a little bit better. But yeah, we were going to go to this beautiful hotel. I can show you a photo. Hold on, and then I'll tell you why I'm telling you about the area. Um, RECV. So we're going to go stay at this beautiful hotel. I booked it when we got back from Tasmania, and yeah, we're just not able to go. Yeah, if I can load this up. So it's this beautiful hotel, and it overlooks the ocean, and it's quite high up, and you can see all the water and the ocean. It's very beautiful, and yeah, we were supposed to go, but had to uh had to postpone it because I basically said, what's the point of going away if one, you don't enjoy it, two, it's not like I can take you to a restaurant or something and get some nice food or anything because she can't eat anything right now. And I was just like, it's not very fun if you can't really do anything and you have to lie in a hotel room for 2 days. So we'll go there later in the year. We'll go there when she's feeling better. But yeah, it sucks because I had it booked for ages, and this place has like a gym, like an indoor pool. It's really cool. Yeah, here's another view. It's a bit blurry, this photo, but you can see how high up it is, and it has this view of the surrounding area. It's pretty cool. Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, The journey we're gonna go on is quite long. It's a long journey of healing. Thavi said, "Did I read that Boswell's lawyer?" Yes. He has filed a motion to get a whole new trial. Yep. Yes, we've postponed it to later on. Yeah, get her some cookies and lollies. Yeah, she'd like that. I don't know what we're doing now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. Whether we're gonna do anything tonight, I'm not sure. Thank you, Robbie. I appreciate it. But yeah, beautiful hotel. We were gonna stay here, and it's got this here. Here's a photo of the ocean. There you go. So there's the hotel. You can see the ocean view from it. It is a really beautiful location. It's about an hour and a half south of me. So if I kept driving south an hour and a half, I would get to Cape Shank. And Cape Shank is it's the southernmost point of Victoria. If you keep going, you'll end up where I was in December in Tasmania, for real. So in Tasmania, when I was at the beach looking uh, across the ocean, I was looking at Cape Shank. And the cool idea was that, we're going to go to the beach here and then be like, hey, we're in both places within a few months of each other. But yeah, we're not going anymore. So yeah, it is very pretty. Yeah, very pretty. It is an interesting shape. It looks like a boomerang. It looks like a boomerang. Why they did it that shape, I don't know. I'm not sure. All right. So yeah, people asking about Valentine's Day. That was my Valentine's plans, but not anymore. Okay, let me do this. So the reason I wanted to talk about this anyway, normally I wouldn't even tell you, but there was a story out of Cape Shank today, and it is a true crime story from Victoria. So I wanted to bring it up. Hold on. Okay. Yes. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to load this up. So we've talked about her before. Her name is Mariam Hamka. We've talked about her in a passing. I'm probably saying her name completely wrong. Good work, Ping. I'll play you a little video from back when this happened.
Man has gone on trial for the murder of his former girlfriend, whose body was found at Cape Shank more than 2 years after she disappeared. Prosecutors allege Toby Loughnane killed Mariam Hamka after subjecting the Brunswick woman to months of domestic violence. Eliza Rugg reports.
Toby Loughnane has admitted he caused the death of Mariam Hamka, but he denies that he murdered his former partner. Instead, he claims the Brunswick woman died of a tragic drug overdose at his Brighton home in April 2021. Both of these people were heavy drug users, Mr Loughnane's defence lawyer told the jury. Miss Hamka didn't succumb to violence. Her family was in the Supreme Court today to hear prosecutors reject Mr Loughnane's offer to plead guilty to negligent manslaughter. The court was told Miss Hamka had been in a brief but abusive relationship with Toby Loughnane. Among the text messages he allegedly sent her, "I will beat you beyond recognition within 2 inches of your life. I'm going to literally kill you." And hours after she was last seen at a Brunswick supermarket, prosecutors allege that's exactly what Mr Loughnane did. Neighbours reported hearing screams from his Wells Street apartment. He's accused of then dumping Mariam's body in a bush grave at Cape Shank and sending fake texts from the victim's phone to her friends. Her remains lay undiscovered for almost 2.5 years. Mr Loughnane sat in the dock taking constant notes as his own defence lawyer said to the jury that they might have feelings of hatred towards the accused man, given what they've heard from the prosecution so far. This murder trial is expected to run for 4 weeks. Eliza Rugg, 9 News.
So I have some good news. He is being jailed for 28 years for what he did to her, and that news came down a few hours ago. So his name is Toby. He's 45 now. He was a bit younger when this happened. He's been waiting for trial and sentencing for a while. He has now been sentenced in the Victorian Supreme Court for killing Mariam Hamka and dumping her body at Cape Shank in Victoria. They say here the 45-year-old looked up and nodded as he was sentenced in the Supreme Court in Melbourne on Friday, as Hamka's family watched on. They say Toby had claimed the 37-year-old died of a drug overdose in the early hours of April 11th, 2021. His only crime was not calling an ambulance. Well, so okay, let's look at that. You're a drug user. I don't have any problem with that. I think there's some people that are very, they're just sort of born with a thing that makes them having addictive personalities, and they get trapped into drug use and things like that. I don't think any less of people that do that. But you know, the risk of overdose is always there if you are an active drug user, right? I don't think the first thing you would have done if your partner were if you woke up and you're like, "Oh my god, she died of a drug overdose," you're not like, "All right, I have to get the car, I'll get a shovel, I'll get a bunch of plastic, and I'm gonna reverse the car up to my home so no one sees. I'm gonna put her in the boot. I'm gonna drive her 2 hours from home and then bury her in a bush grave where no one's going to find her for 2 years, and then I'm just going to pretend like she disappeared." That's why it says here the jury rejected his theory and instead accepted the prosecution's case that he fatally assaulted her with murderous intent. They're saying here that he then dumped her body in a shallow grave at Cape Shank in the Mornington Peninsula before leading investigators to her remains in August 2023, over 2 years later after she died. Justice Christopher Beale described the murder as appalling as he sentenced Toby to 28 years behind bars. He could be eligible for parole after 20 years. Beale said the murder happened in the context of protracted family violence, which was an aggravating factor, and that's why they gave him the higher sentence. They say the fatal violence you inflicted on her was not an isolated incident. They saying he will receive some discount on sentence because he revealed the location of her body to police. That is one of the things they do take into consideration. If a murderer does reveal the location of the body and gets that loved one back to their family, you do get some discount from sentencing, which I guess is to encourage these killers to at least let the family have the loved one back and give them a proper funeral and things like that. So there you go, 28 years in prison after he killed her in a DV related situation. Here's a nice photo of her. Very beautiful looking girl. Um yeah, brutal. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I haven't seen her in like 2 weeks. What do you mean you haven't seen her in 2 weeks? Oh yeah, she just like walked away and disappeared. What do you mean? Did you look for her? Nah, I didn't look for her. Well, when was the last time you saw her? I don't know. Like a week ago? What do you mean? This is the woman that lives with you in a relationship. What do you mean you don't know where she is? Well, they sometimes just disappear. Like, that's what they do. What, you guys haven't spoken to her? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, who's going to be like, yeah, that sounds normal. That sounds like a real situation. No, it sounds like someone who's trying to cover up a murder. Blaze says, "What a creep! He was so dumb to have sent that text message. He snitched on himself. Prison is the best place for him. It is. Enjoy your 28 years. Have fun." 4 weeks is a long trial. Actually, four weeks is actually a pretty median trial for Australia. They last anywhere between 2 and 12 weeks in Australia. Getting a very quick trial like we saw in Megan Boswell, only 1 week, is pretty abnormal. I don't see a ton of them here. They mostly last for at least a couple of weeks, if not a month, if not a couple of months. So juries have a very hard job. That's why they don't tend to sequester juries in Australia because the trials do run for so long. It's sort of inhumane to sequester a jury for like 2 months. It's not it's not kind to the jurors. So it's not often though, not often. I've seen it a couple of times, but not that common. Like in Megan, the prosecution team said the last time they had seen one was over 2 decades ago that they had seen a jury be sequestered. So it was 20 years ago. Hey Snapcrackle, how are you? Hey Glitter, good to see you. How's everything going, Glitter? Have you found a new place to live? Let me know. All right. Hey Nikki. He is a monster. That is correct. He is definitely in the right place behind bars. Woodland Creature said, "Why do you think it is that trials last so long there in Australia?" I think the legal process here is different. More to do with like things like cross examination, witness testimony. The way the trial days run are slightly different too. Sometimes they start a little bit later and finish a little bit later, so you only get like 4 or 5 hours each day. Sometimes they start very early and go very late. It's just there's varying factors, but a lot of the time they have a lot of witnesses like forensic, technical. They call the police that were there. They call the dog squad if they had a dog. There's so many different witnesses that they call that sometimes just getting through the people on that list can take a couple of weeks. I saw one trial that had a list of witnesses for the trial. There was 123 different people that were going to get called to give evidence. Over 100 people, and you can imagine how long that would take. Like it's many multiple weeks to try and do that. I wouldn't panic too much. Like I showed you that document. Even if he tried to take you to your local court, to get a booking for that takes like 6 months. And if you do get to that point, Glitter, you take all those photos, all those emails, all those everything about your living situation, and you take them to court because I reckon you'll win and you won't get blacklisted. It won't be on your record, and he'll have to probably repay all the rent that you paid him, give your bond back, and they will try and give you an extension to make sure that you can find somewhere for you to live. So don't fret. Remember, use your legal rights. He doesn't have all the power. You have some power too. Don't let people push you around. They don't do what they want to do. I promise, if you can get to the housing authority, they might be able to give you an advocate. So you can go to I'm not sure what it's called in where you live, and I don't want to mention your state, but I know what state you're in. Um, these housing authorities have advocates for eviction process, and you may be able to get someone who can actually guide you through it and help you, like do the paperwork, do the legal stuff. So I hope you might be able to find someone to help you with that. Yeah, if he doesn't have your name on the form, don't worry. When they come around and say, "Oh, is this glitter with an A at the end?" You can look at it and look at your license and say, "No, this is a different person, similar name, but not the right person. Mine has an ER at the at the end. See, this is not. No, you must be looking for someone else that lives in a different property." You just be like, "No, it must be the lady who lives up here." Yeah, take really good photos. Make sure you document everything, and make sure any text messages, anything on WhatsApp that you've sent him, any maintenance requests that you've sent that haven't been carried out, make sure you document all of that because that'll all go towards helping you. I Hate Morning says call 211, get hooked up with a landlord. Thank you. I Hate Mornings. That's what I was looking for. There you go. Call 211 and speak to a landlord tenant association and see if they can give you an advocate who can help you with the process, because you're not in the wrong here. And if he's evicting you based on living condition, that's actually against the law, and that basically makes him a slum landlord. Literally, that makes him a slum landlord, and it is highly against the law. He is an asshole, that guy. By the way, if he wants to fight me, let me know. I'll fight him. I'll fight him for you. I don't think he'd want a piece of ping. You let me know. I'll fly there. I'll fight him. I'll fight anyone. Glitter says it has my maiden last name, which I haven't used in 32 years. Just be like, I don't know who you're talking about. That's not me. It doesn't have the proper stuff on the form. I didn't do any. Yeah, you didn't do anything, and they're not supposed to be able to evict for retaliatory reasons. If you can prove it's retaliatory, you can get him up the asshole for it. Glitter says, yeah, you're right. It's highly illegal. He is a slumlord. Yep, that's right. Glitter says there's a great song called Headstrong by Trapped. It's my anthem. That's right. Fight the power. Fight the man. Yeah, you fight the man. There you go. That's a good advice too. Glitter, you might also want to contact your local health department. If the living conditions are unsafe, they will get involved. I don't know how much Glitter wants me to tell you, but when she was living there during the ice storm, she wasn't even able to let the taps run so her pipes wouldn't freeze over, because there was holes in the wall and stuff like that where the owner hadn't done proper maintenance on the property. So she was worried about pipes bursting in her apartment. Like, the guy's just a crap landlord. Glitter says, I can prove it because after I posted the GoFundMe 2 hours later, he told me to leave. Yeah, you showed me that screenshot. He tried to show her something like some other complaint another tenant had and tried to blame it on Glitter. And then he went, oh, I don't care. I still want you out. You let me know, Glitter. I'll fly to where you live. I'll fight him. I'll fight him. I'll fight anyone. Ping. Glitter said, no, my name's Ping. Her name's Glitter. Oh yeah, I can tell you. Okay. It did go. Your water's brown. Yeah. He can't make you leave. You know how long it takes to get a legal eviction? It's like 9 months or something in a lot of places at the moment. It's a long period of time, and I don't believe that you're in the wrong. So it wouldn't go against you on your file. It wouldn't go against like a black mark on your rental history, because you're actually fighting against something that's you know, not up to code, not legal, not, you know, done the right way. Anyway, I hope it works for you. I hope it works. We're all behind you. Marlene says, in my state, you cannot evict in winter months. There you go. Tell them it's winter, 12 months in the year. You can stay there forever. Yeah, that's big part of it. It costs a lot of money to move. I remember when I moved, it cost me like 5 grand. It was like it was like, so I don't know, whatever, like a month. Then you got to have a bond, and then you got to pay the moving company. And you got to pay all the utilities and all that. It adds up very quickly. Free legal aid also. Get in contact with them, Glitter. Contact legal aid. Yeah, there you go. Nana says she would be leaving. I agree. All right. Shall we continue? All right. So that was your update about Miriam. That is a good one. We did that one. What's this one? No, that's something else. That one. We did that. We did Boswell. We did that one. We did that one. All right. Sorry. I don't know why all my links are. Oh, okay. All right. Now I know where I'm at. Okay. So that Category 5 cyclone that I showed you yesterday has now made landfall in Australia only about an hour ago. So I want to show you it quickly while I get your next story. But here it is, Category 5 hurricane for Americans, cyclone for Australians, and it just crossed the coastline here. It is impacting an area called, or near, a place called Port Hedland. So there you go. You see that eye crossing over the coastline now? Giant hurricane. Cat 5. So I don't know if I've seen that one. What I normally do is when Joseph Scott Morgan releases a podcast, I normally leave it for a little bit and then I watch like not watch, but listen to like 5 of them all at once. I don't tend to listen like every week, but once a month I'll go back and listen to however many episodes he has done. Marjorie said, moving is horribly expensive and stressful. I refinanced to stay in my home after divorce. I can't imagine moving elsewhere as it would be more expensive than my mortgage, right? Could you imagine paying rent right now in the crazy rental market that some of us have to live in? It's bonkers. All right. There's your hurricane. So he has made landfall now, and that area is being impacted quite severely. If I can show you a little bit of it, I will do that. If it'll actually It's not loading. Good work, Ping. You say you run a true crime channel? Can't even load your stories right. Yeah, ABC.
Good afternoon, all. Are we all ready to kick off? Severe tropical cyclone Zelia is a very dangerous Category 5 system that will cause significant impacts. The destructive cyclone core is currently crossing the coast to the east of Port Hedland. At midday Friday, the centre of the system was around 65 kilometres to the northeast of Port Hedland and moving southeast at around 11 kilometres per hour. The very destructive core of the system, the area around the eye of the cyclone, is impacting that coast, as I said, to the east of Port Hedland now, bringing very destructive wind gusts up to 290 kilometres per hour and intense rainfall and flooding. Port Hedland is not expected to be impacted by the very destructive eye wall winds, but damaging to destructive wind gusts are still likely this afternoon and into this evening. On the eastern side of the tropical cyclone track, a dangerous storm surge is possible, which could cause flash flooding of coastal areas. However, the storm surge risk in line with the movement of the cyclone is greatly reduced for the Port Hedland area. This system is producing very heavy rainfall, with rainfall totals expected to be 200 to 300 millimetres over the next 24 hours, with 3-day totals up to 500 millimetres possible. We have already recorded totals over 300 millimetres. This heavy rainfall falling on already wet catchments is likely to result in flash and riverine flooding. Flood watch and warning areas extend from the Gascoyne and through the Pilbara regions, with flood warnings already current for the De Grey and Pilbara coastal rivers. As the system continues to move south, it will weaken and winds will ease. Although damaging winds are expected close to the path of the cyclone as it moves all the way through the interior towards Tom Price and Paraburdoo. And these winds are expected to continue through to Saturday in those areas.
So as you can hear, it's quite severe out there, including that storm surge, which if you've ever watched a USA or Floridian hurricane, you'll know storm surge is life-threatening. It's normally what kills more people than the winds or the the actual hurricane. It's normally the water. The water will kill you much faster than the actual hurricane will. Love Fiona, the Auslan lady. She was good during COVID. Yeah, there's some great people who do sign language for these type of press conferences. They're so good. They do great work. Hold on. Yes, I can show this to you. You guys want to see the satellite image again? So this is the map of Australia, and this is Western Australia up the top here. Like Ping lives down here, all the way down here. This is where Ping lives, where all the cloud is. But this is all the way up on the west coast. I live on the east coast, so this is the cyclone right here. There you go. I can play it for you, and you guys can see how it moves. There you go. Yeah. So hope they're okay. Everyone in Port Hedland, everyone's hunkered down. People have moved things from the coastline. You know, don't want anyone's boat sinking or something like that. Yeah, especially this place. Port Hedland is quite. It's at sea level, so it's got a lot of water ingress points of entry. I'll show it to you. Hold on. So here's what the area looks like. You can see all these waterways here, and like different ones all the way up the coastline. And you imagine if there's a Category 5 storm surge coming through here, you can imagine the type of Oh, I didn't make this. Reeby made that a long time ago. Who's what the hell? Weird. Someone just rang me and I was like, look like when someone rings you and it says like spam caller, telemarketer, and I'm like, I don't want a telemarketer. Why would they ring me? Nikki says, yeah, love that lady. Me too. Storm surge, yep. Yes, they have. I know that they've been preparing for a while. I know it is very pretty. It is very nice when there's not a hurricane. So, but you can see these different areas. If there is some sort of water push coming in from the hurricane, and this is different from the one that hit Florida. The one that hit Florida missed the push on the. Sorry, I have to flip my mindset because of it's a different hemisphere. So on the south side of the hurricane, the one that hit Florida, it just missed the bay where it would have pushed water up into the bay. Now, I believe Port Hedland's on the dirty side of the storm for this one, as where when it hit Tampa Bay, it missed the dirty side of the hurricane. But I believe that Port Hedland's actually in the dirty part of this hurricane. Yes, it is. So they are in a not a great place. Oh wait, hold on. They might not. They might just miss it. They might just miss it if it comes through here. Yeah, so it looks like they may just miss the dirty side of the hurricane. That is very lucky. It'd have to be a little further south. Port Hedland's sort of like down here a little bit. So that is very lucky that they're not going to get that. So it'll probably reduce some of the storm surge, but not all of it. Oh, you guys can't see. Good work, Ping. Why do you do stuff like this? Who said you could have a YouTube channel? There you go. So I was saying Port Hedland's sort of like where my mouse is, like right there. If you can see my mouse, it's sort of like right there. So they're a little, they got lucky that they're not going to get completely smacked by the top side of the hurricane. But this is a really fierce storm. You can see it in the photo here. All these like things that look like cauliflower near the front of the cyclone slash hurricane. These are all storm tops, like cold top thunderstorm. And this is what is like super damaging. You get a lot of yeah, a lot of thunder, lightning activity, intensification. But as it moves over land, it will die down, but still made landfall as a Category 5. No. Did you get a call from spam likely? I don't think it said spam likely. I think it said something like, what did it say? It said suspected spam. So it was like, this is probably a telemarketing call. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to them. Yeah, I don't know who that number is. They've started calling off mobile phones now. Have you noticed this? They don't use a landline number anymore. They started calling off cell phones. So these telemarketers now have an outbound number that looks like a cell phone. Very annoying. All right, so yeah, let's hope everyone in WA is okay. And I want to take you to another Australian true crime mystery. Do you guys want to see a mystery? Let's talk about this. This lady here is a missing mum captured on a CCTV camera hours before she vanished and hasn't been seen again. So I'm going to play the footage for you and tell me if you notice anything, because I don't really see anything, but let me know if you think there's anything weird. So here she is in the pink top. She's got the pink top on. Yeah, can I make that bigger? Nope. Okay. So yeah, she's got something here, putting it in the back of her car. So that is the footage they have released. Her name is Taylor Spies. Spies. Ping, say words. Taylor Spies. She's 29. She was last seen leaving a hotel in Dalby, which is 200 kilometers west of Brisbane. So it's like country. It's like rural. She was last seen about 8 a.m. on February 2nd. As they say, the video here shows Miss Spies carrying a large bag into her white Toyota Hilux before she drove down the direction of Surat, a small town 500 kilometers west of Brisbane. They say we have grave concerns about the health and safety of Taylor. She had a birthday just recently and didn't make any contact with family, which is really out of character. She was due to celebrate her 29th birthday 6 days after she went missing. She was traveling in a white 2017 dual cab Toyota Hilux with a distinctive black bumper bar and blacked out wheels. Its registration is 559 GJ7. The ute was last seen at the intersection of Burrows Street and Cordelia Street in Surat about 11:10 a.m. on February 2nd. Here's a photo of that young mum here. There's a photo of her, of Taylor. Taylor? Is that what we said? Or is Pink pronouncing names wrong again? Yeah, Taylor. Taylor. As in Taylor Swift, but spelt differently. This is her here. So she is missing and they can't find the car either. So here's another photo of that car. What does it tell you? The 14th? Just shy of 2 weeks ago. So at the beginning of the month of February, that's what they're looking for. So yeah, it's been a while. 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. She's been missing. They haven't been able to locate the truck or her, and they don't know where she is. So it looks normal. She just looked like she was just going to pick up something. Yeah. Yeah, she just drove away. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a custody situation that, the child lives with the dad, or I don't know. They're saying investigators have appealed to anyone who was traveling between Dalby and Surat and surrounding areas between the hours of 10:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. on February 2nd to check their vehicle's dashcam footage. They say Miss Spies is described as Caucasian with brown shoulder-length hair, blue eyes, a slim build, and approximately 170 centimeters tall. She has the word karma tattooed across her chest, so across her chest area, and was last seen wearing a fluorescent pink long sleeve shirt and light colored shorts. However, Miss Spy's sister, Rebecca, shared a post online claiming the 29-year-old may be wearing different clothes. They're saying here the sister, Rebecca, says she did end up changing into a white shirt with purple writing on it and a Mimco shoulder bag in the afternoon on Sunday. The family pleaded with anyone to share any information on her whereabouts. Okay. So they're saying that she changed clothing in the afternoon. That is a bit odd. Let me see if I can find a better update on this for you. CCTV, yep, we've got that. There was a channel called Christian Breaking News. Interesting. I've never heard of that channel. Let's see. Can we find? It's odd that no news channels are doing anything on her. I would have thought this would have been picked up by everyone. That's odd. Yeah, let me take you to Queensland Police. There's her in that parking lot. She has it looks like a tattoo on her leg as well. There's a dark area on her leg. I don't know if that's a tattoo or a birthmark, but there's something there too. They say police are appealing for dashcam footage as part of an investigation into a missing 29-year-old woman from Roma and the Dolby areas since she went missing on February 2nd, 2025. So they're saying she left a hotel. So I don't know if that means a real hotel or a place where you can buy alcohol. But that was in Dolby around 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, and she traveled west towards Surat. Her vehicle was last seen at the intersection of Burrawest Street and Cordelia Street in Surat around 11:10 a.m. that morning. They say police have conducted aerial searches of the area but haven't been able to locate her. Investigators are now asking anyone who was traveling between the areas to check their vehicle's dashcam footage. Where could she have gone? Let's have a look. Borough Street and Cordelia Street in Surat. Okay. Let's go here. Maps. No, that's... Yes, here. Okay. All right, so Borough West Street is here. What was the other one what was the other one called? Oh, Cordelia. So on that footage, this is the intersection where you see her in that car, right here. And if we zoom out, what is in the surrounding area? Not much. Not much. Jeez. So she's normally from Roma. Roma's up here. This is Roma up here. This is where she's from. I know I know Roma, and it's a sort of larger town. It's not super big, but it's one of the more larger towns west of Brisbane. And then she was all the way down here. Where's that little red dot again? There you go. All the way down here. And there's Tara Dillon too. So what else? Where could she have gone? There's really nothing out here. Like it's a town that has about, you know, 10 different streets. That's it. And then there's a river. There's a river though. Anytime I see water near where they can't find someone, I always wonder if they're in the river or like the water, because if they've taken a helicopter over here and they've searched everywhere, and there's no big like trees or anything. It's fairly open, as you can see. It's almost like, desert. Not real desert, but you know what I mean. That type of landscape. Um, it's very like small, uh, different types of trees and foliage, and it's not super tall like a forest. You would think if they had a helicopter flying out here and looking for her vehicle, if it was at the side of a road or, had crashed and they couldn't find, like, she was unable to get out of the vehicle or something like that, you would have think they'd be able to see it from the helicopter. Like, there's just nothing else really out here. This is an airport, is it? Yeah. They got one runway. Just one, just one. Just just a one runway airport. But other than that, once you get out of the town, there's like nothing out here. Farmland. That is an interesting pattern. I don't know what that is. Irrigation? I don't know what that is. I'm not sure what that is, but that looks really cool. But yeah, as you can see, when I zoom out, there's not a ton out here. Hmm. Hold on. What's that? There is a state forest up here. I mean, it's a bit far off where she was driving, though. Odd. I don't know how you go missing in a town that only has about 10 different places you could be. Hold on, I need a drink. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. I was starting to not be able to talk. Jonna says the video of her walking looked like a parking lot. That was in a different location. This is where she drove after the parking lot video. So after you see her in that parking lot video, she drove down here to this town called Surat. And this is the intersection right here where that video was taken. Here, I'll show you that video again. So this is the first video here, this first one, and then they show you a different one where after she left this location, she went to the intersection. I think it's down here, right here. So this is the intersection I'm showing you on the Google map. Right here, you see her white car, and she turns down that, and this one too. So she was right outside a place called Hitching Rail Comp. All right, let's have a look. Hitching Rail. I don't know if I see that, but this is definitely the. Yeah, let me take you back here. She was just here. There we go. There's that hitching rail. So that's that hitching rail complex that shows up in that video. So she drove down here, and then she turned left onto this road here, and then where she went from here, I don't know. But that video shows her turning in that direction. Oh, what's her name? Taylor Spies. Taylor Spies. There you go. Taylor Spies. That's her name. So I'm just trying to see if I have any more information for you about her. Taylor. Oh, 18 minutes ago. There was an update. Okay, there was an update under an hour ago. Hold on. Okay, let me change to this. They say they say a missing woman, her mobile phone stopped working about an hour after she was last seen. Do you know what that tells me? She's in the water. Normally when someone's mobile phone just stops working, it's because they're gone underwater. And if it happens like, like that, it's normally because they're in some sort of like body of water. That's about the only thing that the GPS signal or a cell phone tower signal can't penetrate. Either that or it has to be like a lot of concrete and steel, like an underground parking garage, or when you go under a tunnel in the city, like when you're going under like the a tunnel to go through, to the other side of a city, that may not work. If you go into like a multi-story parking garage, they will cut out your signal as well. But normally, if you're in a rural setting like this, water, and there is a giant river not too far from where she was last seen. Oh, fuck a duck. Hold on. Just fuck a duck. Hold on. Fuck a duck. Sorry about that. Mrs. Ping was like badgering me about something, and I'm like, sure, do that. Glitter says, I bet you're right. I bet it took about an hour for the phone to be ruined with water. Actually, it doesn't need to be ruined, but once you get past a certain depth in water, it just instantly cuts out, and you can't make that connection, even if the phone is still working. So all you need to do is get below a certain depth in the water. It doesn't mean your phone doesn't work. It just means that the signal can't penetrate through the water. I don't know. I haven't read an update on where her kid is. Sorry. I messaged her, I went, fuck a duck. And then she messaged back, well, F you too. And she's gonna kill me when she gets back. She's gonna be like, why are you being so mean? And I was like, I wasn't being mean. Um, let's see. They say Detective Chief Inspector Gary Watts said there was activity on her phone after leaving the small town, the town I just showed you, but nothing further after that. We know there was some activity on her phone about an hour later, which puts her in quite a large area south of Yulba. Here. Around the Glen Morgan and Uleba, I don't know how to pronounce it, Yulba State Forest. That's where we were just looking on the map. Hold on. Is that state forest that we're over here? What's that? What name of that place? No, that's a different state forest. What are we looking for? The Yulba. There's Yulba. Hold on, guys. I'm going to show you this. Where's the state forest? Yulba State Forest. She's ages away. So this is the Yulba State Forest, or however you pronounce that town. Look how big it is, this area. But she was back in town over here, where the red marker is. So if she's up here, is there any water? Let's have a look. Any waterways? I don't see any. Is that a river? I think it is a river, but I don't know if it's got any water in it. It is a river. It is a river. Need a bigger body of water than that, though. Around this state forest, there's the highway. I don't see any like massive bits of water. No, that's not what we want. Like there is like this type of stuff, but that's on a farm. That's like a farm, dam. I don't know. How weird, right? So they're saying that she could be anywhere in this region. near the Yulba State Forest. But there's nothing out here. Like that's what's weird about this. Like there's no water really. I mean, maybe back at the other town they had that big river, but there's nothing really out here. How does someone just disappear? Yeah, that's a bit weird. There's some water. But other than that, there isn't like any like, big water sources or anything. Okay. So what else does the article say? No, that's not what we want. We want to go back to that other article. Okay. So near Glenmorgan, Miandara, and anywhere in that area, that's exactly where I just showed you on the map. They say, so what we are really honing in on is they just want dash cam footage in the area. They say they do not know why the mother traveled to the area. He said police were appealing to anyone who had seen or spoken to her. Apparently, her 29th birthday has since gone by during her disappearance, and they want to know more about what she might have been doing at that time. They say Miss Spies, geez, stomach, we can eat after, be quiet. Miss Spies had worked as a courier and ran a local post office, but said it was unclear how long she had been doing that before she went missing. They said she was definitely in Dolby over the weekend, over Friday to Saturday, but was in Surat area on Sunday morning. Odd. Interesting. Here. According to Inspector Watts, they confirmed the homicide squad was assisting local detectives and police. Yeah, this doesn't seem right. Normally, when you have someone that's just like crashed their car, they haven't been able to find them. Eventually, either someone driving past or the police searching for them, find the wreckage. Right? They'll find the car that's been rolled over or something like that. But the fact that she's been missing for almost 2 weeks in this area where there isn't really anything out there, like truck drivers driving down the highway would have seen if she had, crashed the car. And the fact that her mobile phone just stopped giving any activity after 1 hour after leaving, it's a little odd. I hear Monique said if someone was involved, it could be like what happened in my old neighborhood. He dumped the phone in the sound and her body elsewhere. Could be. All right, let me see. It didn't say anything about a new relationship. Rachel said, we lose cell signal in the national forest here, but I don't know if it's the same thing. I think they would have accounted for a lack of cell reception. That's not what they said. They said a lack of cell phone activity. Activity is different to like reception. Activity means they're not getting a signal back and forward. So there's no data going to the phone, to the tower, to the tower, to the phone. A lack of reception would mean that the phone is out of contact, but I don't think that's what they're saying. They're saying they were seeing updates to her phone and then to the tower, and then it just turned off. Like no more interaction between the tower and the phone. So that is not the same thing. It's odd. Sounds like they do suspect foul play. Yeah. Maybe she met up with someone. Yeah. I hope they find her too. I don't know. It doesn't say. I know everyone's very interested in her children. Here's a photo of her with some big guy with big muscles. There you go. There's some photos of her. She's looked very different in different parts of her life, which makes it more complicated about identifying her. Like here, she looks like a thin blonde girl. Same in her CCTV. She looks quite, you know, a thinner build. And then in some other photos, maybe when she had the baby, she's got a different build altogether. So It doesn't say anything about where her kids are, no. I don't see anything like that about where her child might be. No. Here, they say police have now launched Operation X-Ray Spa to investigate Miss Spy's disappearance and believe she traveled west towards Surat after after leaving Dolby. They said there have been times when Taylor has gone off the network, so to speak, for a couple of days, but we have grave concerns for the welfare of Taylor. Our public appeal to see if we can narrow it down to number one, where that vehicle is, and number two, where Taylor is. So they want to find the vehicle and her. Interesting that we're getting no comment about the children. Like, she obviously said she's a mum. Oh, thank you. Someone actually told me how to pronounce it. So it's not spies, it's spees? Spees? Okay. They must be watching my show and being like, that guy can't pronounce her name for crap. Here, I'll put it in my article so if he reads it, he'll know how to pronounce it. Thanks for that, Candace Sutton. Candace Sutton, I appreciate that. Spees? That's the way I would pronounce it, spees. Yeah. Okay, so it's not spies, it's spees. Okay. All right. So her name is Taylor Spees, which is a weird way of pronouncing that, but sure. I can't tell you. There's no information about the kids. Let me check my other article. No, no information on any past relationships, who might have the children. Nothing like that. Yeah, I'll play that video again from the Courier. No, I don't see anything in the back seat of the car. I think that's just her. She goes into that like the door behind the driver's side, and then she goes and grabs whatever that is, and then puts it in the vehicle, and then she drives away. Yeah, spees. Like peas, but with an S in the front. Yeah, okay. Marjorie said it's really late for me. Give my best to Mrs. Ping and let me know I'm thinking of her. I will. Yeah, we can play it one more time. Can we redo it? Hold on. If we can't redo it, I'll just redo this. There we go. So, there you go. All right, there you go. Replayed it. I don't know what that does for anyone, but sure. Yeah. What? Yeah, you're an American. It's the other side. That's the driver's side. You're a Yank. You Yanks drive on the other side. Yeah, that's the driver's side in Australia. We drive on the opposite side of the road, and our driver's side is the other side to you. So, there you go. Yeah, but trust me, you're the weird ones, not us. Okay, you're the weird ones. You drive on the opposite side of the road, not us. We drive on the correct side of the road. You guys just had to be different and decided to make all your cars the reverse of everyone else. All right. I really wish I had more information about her, but they're kind of staying a little tight-lipped about like anything to. Yeah, there's not a ton of new information about like who a child might be, where the child is there a father of that child involved? Oh, really? Someone just said that they got a helicopter in the air. Let's have a look. That was a while ago, but I'll check. I don't know if they've. Oh, there must be a bushfire near here. Weird. They got all these helicopters in the air around here. I'll have to check that out in a minute. There must be a bushfire near where Ping is. All right, let's go to Queensland. Is there a helicopter out here? No, not right now. There's no helicopter out here at the moment, but it is 5 o'clock on a Friday. So maybe in the morning there will be, but doesn't look like they've got a search and rescue out here at the moment. Here, I can show you. So we're out here. I don't see any police helicopters out here right now. Yeah, nothing out here. Let me see where. Yeah, no, everything is back around Brisbane. Nothing out this far. Yeah, no helicopters out there at the moment. Let's just have a look here. What's this one called? Okay. Yeah, I don't see any search and rescue out here. So, not at the moment. Yeah, she looked like she was dressed for a very casual, like, like a casual day. It didn't look like she was going to go on a hike or anything. Yeah, I don't know what was in the bag. Yeah, that is very odd. Let me see if I can replay that. What would be? They did say she worked for a courier company and a post office, though. Maybe she was picking up a parcel for a courier. That's the only thing I could think of. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a like something she was doing for work. It looks like it's awkwardly sized, but it doesn't seem to be super heavy. She doesn't look like she is struggling to carry it, just that it's very big. Like it doesn't look very heavy. Hmm. What would you pick up that is that big? And why? Yeah, I don't know. It could be part of her new role as a post office or anything. Is it near Mount Isa? No. A little bit, but I don't think it weighed like, 50 pounds or something. I think it's just very large. Oh, shoot. Actually, I got to do something. Mrs. Ping will kill me. All right. Let's wrap it up there. And I will come hang out with you tomorrow. tomorrow is the weekend, so we should get a very long show tomorrow night, and maybe an earlier show too. Let me just check our donation thing. Okay. All right. I think that's it. All right. Woodland Creatures, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. And if you haven't hit that like button or the subscribe button, Ping would appreciate that as well. That would be very kind. What? Near Mount Isa? Hold on. What? There was one that was searching a place called the Western Creek Forest. That was a search and rescue helicopter, but it's gone back now. It's going back to Toowoomba. See? He's called Rescue 588. That is a rescue helicopter, but he looks like he's heading back to Toowoomba Airport now. He's coming in for approach. What was he doing out here? I don't know. It's a little far away from her, I think, right? Isn't she like more up this way? Yeah, she's more up here. Like, so the Yulba State Forest, that helicopter is all the way down here. I think it might be in the wrong area. See, he's going home. He's going to go home. Is he dropping altitude? No, he's still 3,000 feet. Normally when they come into land, they drop their altitude. And he's still quite high. Let's see if he drops his height. No, it doesn't seem so. Going down. Oh, now he's dropping height. 2950. 2925. Slowly. They might be waiting to get ranked into the airport. There may not be an opening for them to land right now because they're doing it very slowly. Now they're down to like 2,800 feet. All right. Yeah, he's going home. He's going to land right here. So I don't think he's the same one. Yeah, good night, everyone. Have a great Friday out there tomorrow, okay? Have a great Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Hopefully we can get on a little earlier tomorrow so we can do like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. That would be really good. I love you all very much. Have a great night out there. Be safe on your Friday and get ready for the weekend. That would be good. And yes, I'll keep you up to date. If I get an update about her between now and our next show, I'll probably post about it on our Twitter, Nights with Ping. So I've been posting about Megan Boswell on there all day. So if you want to talk when I'm not on the show, I'm often on Twitter. All right. Good night. See you later. Bye.